Well, maybe I'll just go on with the story. After all, Explorers on the Moon is the direct continuation of Destination Moon. The rocket with Calculus, Tintin, Haddock, Snowy and Engineer Wolf is on its way to the moon. In the first excitement comes a big surprise right after the start. Thomson and Thompson, who can tell the difference between 1 o'clock AM and 1 o'clock PM, are also on board. The other surprise, however, only emerges while the expedition is already exploring the surface of the moon. A spy from a foreign power is also on board. His goal? To launch the moon rocket, leave the others on the moon and hand over their research results to that foreign power. The events in the second volume are just as credible as in the first one. Hergé is completely holding back the fantasy, and so the expedition participants do not come across some moon inhabitants or something, but instead they find a dark, hostile landscape. However, as the first real moonflight took place almost 20 years later, Hergé had to rely on scientific advisors. So he let his explorers find an ice field on the moon, a theory that was rejected later, but then again found to be true much later. And this is how science works. Other deviations from reality are due to the narrative, such as the completely transparent dome-shaped helmets. They were necessary so the reader can see from behind who's in the frame. For real astronauts, the helmet only has a visor at the front, and this visor is gold-plated to protect against rays. The story of the moon expedition is heading to a dramatic climax in this volume, one of the most dramatic in the whole series. Unfortunately, the story of the journey to the moon is the last double volume in this series. And that's for one good reason, a sad reason, because the composition of the frames and the well-thought plot does not show the circumstances under which it came about. Hergé was exhausted several times, so he founded a comic studio in which he had employees with clearly distributed tasks. His rhythm of work would also change, and he would go back to one-volume stories. In fact, there were no more two-volume stories until the end of the series. But what about me? What do I do now? Oh hey, there is somebody doing anti-gravitational cycling? Huh? Sorry, sir, can you help me?
Hey, you.
What?
You go into this hedge.
Oh, Mr. Astronaut. Well, if you say so, then I will do so. This is rather uncomfortable, but okay. And what am I supposed to do now?
Very simple. Have a pleasant flight.
What? What do you...